So hi, welcome to a Bridgemaster Daily, and I'm terribly sorry. My video for the previous hand turned out pretty bad again, and so I really hope this doesn't happen anymore. By now, as you can see, I'm already on hand B6 right now. My next hand will be B7. This one was actually very interesting. So the thing that we needed to do in this hand was, well, in the first trick, they played spades, West won the ace, and we needed to throw away the king so we could win the second spade trick in North's hand, and the second really important thing which I came up with, which I discovered myself, but after quite some time, to be brutally honest, was that we needed to finesse in trumps against the 10 of trumps, which seems ridiculous in first sight because we've got the ace, king, queen, and jack of trumps, and the 10 will surely always fall. But we need to finesse against each 10 simply to establish a second entry into North's hand, respectively not create an entry directly, but to stay in North's hand. That's the only way in which we can set up the spade ruffing finesse, which we need to pitch our two diamond losers. Very interesting hand. Okay, but that's not the topic of this stream. Let's go to the next one. So there's again this unusual 2-note trump pitch, which we also saw in the previous hand. Now, I had to look it up because I don't play this myself at all. I play a German bidding system called Forum D, which is based a little bit on standard American and also on the French bidding system, actually. So, yeah, I've never played unusual 2-note trump. If we jump to 2-note trump in response, we usually throw both majors, if anything. But they play unusual 2-note trump for the minors. So West pretty surely has 5-5 in the minors in this hand. Which also seems very likely since we don't have many cards in the minors. So it's a trump contract, so we need to count down losers. Well, in trumps we have one loser, potentially two, potentially zero. If like the queen and if the trump split 2-2, we can just take the ace and king and we won't have any trump loser. If they split 3-1, which is the most likely split, we will have one loser which we have to deal with in some fashion. And if they split 4-0, we could even have two losers. Not very likely, but let's count on one loser for now. I think that's the safest bet. In heart, South doesn't have any losers. South does have a club loser and one diamond loser. The club loser I don't see much as an issue. I mean, we can ruff. The diamond loser, I don't see much which we can do to avoid it. Maybe pitch it on a heart. That's possible. So yeah, we could actually take our 13 tricks if trump split 2-2. We can just draw trumps twice, and if hearts then also happen to split 3-3, then our final heart becomes good, and on that we can throw our two of diamonds away and claim the rest of our tricks. But now we'll return to the real world. We aren't living in Fantasia land. And probably neither will split. The most likely split in trumps is 3-1, and in hearts it's 4-2. And we also need to take into account West's bidding. He has 5-5 in the minors, which also means he has at most 3 cards in the majors. It could be only 2. That changes quite a lot, I think. So I'm really tempted to win the first trump trick with the king in dummy. The reason being, I don't expect West to have more than 2 trumps, so I don't expect West's queen or whatever to become an issue. And so I really want to see first, in the second round of trumps, I want to see first which card East plays. And then react accordingly in the south hand and just assume for a moment that West has no more trumps. I think that is the way we should play trumps in isolation, of course, but we need to think about the other suits as well, particularly hearts, which are pretty surely not going to split 3-3 after West's 2-0 trumpet. We could play like a double ruffing finesse or whatever in hearts. No, not a ruffing finesse, just a normal double finesse. But that's way too risky. I mean, even if West has only 2 or even 1 heart, he could still have the jack or the 10. I think it's much better to just catch your 3 winners in hearts. Especially since 2 of them are on the short side. So there's also the danger of blocking suit. And actually, just hope for that final heart to somehow materialize. I'm just thinking, could a squeeze against West? In the minors then, of course. West only has minors. Could a squeeze against West in both minors actually make sense? So us playing our hearts and our trumps and just looking for West's pitches, basically. Well, we need to retain the threat in both clubs and diamonds. So we need to give up a loser, presumably in diamonds first. And then the final diamond in North's hand should be a threat card against West. The other threat needs to come from South in clubs. The problem being that I think both minors can be guarded by East as well, since West only has 5. So East will surely have 3 of each. And our third threat cards in both suits can be guarded by East, which makes this squeeze utterly impossible. The other thing which we need to think about is end playing our opponents, but not seeing much of that either, since I don't see how they cannot return, how we can, well, in case of an end play, we would need to take this first trick, because an end play always involves losing the lead, and we can't afford to lose the lead if we duck this one. And yeah, even if we win this trick, I mean, they can both always return either a diamond or a club. Don't see any way to eliminate both suits completely. And then also there's still the trump issue out there. So this all seems rather pointless. In a family game, I would have just cashed the ace and cashed the king of spades by now and play another spade through east and just cover whatever east plays on that second spade. But we are not in a family game right now, so we need to think about this a little bit more like a puzzle, I suppose. But they can always just return diamonds or clubs. So a squeeze seems rather unlikely, and an end play seems rather unlikely, which are the two most used advanced bridge tricks, of course, or bridge plays. Of course, they come in all sorts of varieties and colors, and they all have special names and stuff like that. I don't really care about that, to be brutally honest. Which one is called the Vienna or the Vanderbilt or the whatever. I'm more inclined on just focusing on the two main techniques, squeeze and end play, and however they materialize, it's pretty obvious because there's only one possible way in which they can materialize. Yeah, so this doesn't look particularly good. It doesn't matter if we duck this first trick or if we win it. Like, if we have to give up the lead in trumps at some point, we are pretty much done, right? Well, the thing is, maybe we can sort of threaten to pitch the two of diamonds, like if East turns up with 3 spades and 4 hearts, which is quite likely. We can play the 4th heart from dummy and, yeah. Well, no, East can't off. East has a 4th heart. Stupid me, stupid me. The question is whether we can force him at some point to play from his trump holding. Because we know quite well how the hand is splitting. There's not much guesswork to do. We can play 2 rounds of clubs, we can ruff a club. And then we can play like 3 rounds of hearts. And possibly exit a heart to east and pitch our 2 of diamonds, which we would lose anyway. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but now east just returns a diamond. And what do we do next? We need to ruff that, and then we have the same conundrum we had before. So I think I'm going to try the naive kind of play and just win the ace. I'm pretty sure this is wrong, but Well, yeah, this is wrong. They are 4-0. Now East has a sure trump trick. We can hope that Heart split 3-3 still. I'm pretty sure they will not. Well, let's see. Let's just win this and play at least one trump finesse against East. Yeah, he covers. Great. So now he still has the jack as a winner. And now we need the hearts to split 3-3. If they split 3-3, we make it, because then we just play our final heart, which is a winner from dummy, and well, East can ruff with his jack, but we don't really care. Although, even that doesn't work, does it? Because East can always win the... East can trump with a low trump even. He still has a low trump. Damn it. And whenever East plays a low... wins a trick with a low trump, he can return the jack and we are toast. So even that doesn't work. We can't play trumps immediately yet. Give East his jack, because East will return a diamond and we're toast. I'm also pretty sure ducking the first diamond trick wasn't right either, because then we would have to play trumps for 0 losers, and I just don't see a way with them splitting 4-0 like that. It's pretty likely actually hard split 3-3 at this point. But the question is, what does it even matter? Should we just... We can never play a diamond. If we play diamonds, they win a diamond trick and then win their jack of spades and we're toast. So probably we have already made a mistake, but I still want to look into this, because I don't really see an obvious alternative to this plan either. I mean, yeah, maybe keep the king of spades in North's hand and test the hearts first, because if hearts split 3-3, we can be absolutely certain that West doesn't have a trump, because West showed 5-5 in the minors with his 2-note trumpet. But we can't play 3 rounds of hearts immediately. That would be ridiculous. I mean, West with a 2-1 break in the majors, West could easily ruff the 3rd round of hearts. West could even have a 1-2 break and ruff the 2nd round of hearts. So that's ridiculous. So I'm pretty sure, since West doesn't have a trump, that hard split 3-3. The question is, what does it matter? Yes, we can play 3 rounds of clubs and ruff the 3rd round. So we can reduce East to at least 4 cards in his hand, 2 of which are trumps. The other 2 are diamonds at that point. But exiting a diamond is just never good, and exiting a trump is equally bad, because East will just win his jack of spades. His jack of spades, and return a diamond and we're down. So this is pretty awful. Should we have played hearts immediately? I mean, it sounds so risky and ridiculous to do that. But is there any reason to conclude from the beginning that West must have 3 rounds of hearts and not have any trumps? I don't see that. There wasn't a double on the 6 spade contract by East either, which you would expect if East has 4 trumps with the Queen Jack, and his partner has played some strength at least. I know people are very conservative when it comes to penalty doubling. I mean, I would have immediately penalty doubled with East's hand. Playing 4 rounds of hearts is just no good, right? I mean, East has a low trump, so East roughs low. And yeah, either we can overruff, but then we still have our diamond loser, and we still actually do lose spades. But, and yeah, if we pitch our diamond when East roughs low, we lose as well, because we will still lose the Jack of spades at some point. So it's not that. We could reduce the hand by one more trick through that, though. We could just like play 3 rounds of clubs and then play 4 rounds of hearts, and or in some order, and then in the last heart, like, well, East can rough low if he wants, but then we overruff, and at least we eliminated another card from his hand. But there's no way we make 12 tricks this way, right? There are some hands in which you just need to convert out of your trumps by ruffing, and let East have that high trick, ruffing the diamond loser in the last trick, but that we're clearly not there. I mean, the hands are, the distributions in North and South are just way too similar. I think we already messed it up at this point, although I don't really know what else I should have done there. I mean, I want to redeal this and just look at the contract. I mean, I can't duck this first trick if trumps are 4-0. That's recipe for disaster immediately, right? Or can we actually? I just wanted to test if playing hearts immediately is. Well, that's just immediately roughs. Goodbye. Yeah. I mean, the robots are just really awful to anything we might try. If ridiculous distributions like that are in play, What are we even hoping for at this point? So we need to play one round of trumps just to make sure West doesn't have them. The spades missing are the queen, the jack, the 2 and the 3. So the 2 and 3 will never make a trick if we play it on a trump. Should we play the ace? That cannot be right. It's sort of like what we did earlier. I mean, it's the most natural thing in the world we can do at that point. I just don't see why and how that is even enough, because we can't afford to lose a diamond trick. Because we will surely lose a trump trick. Is there any way of like playing all other winners and finessing Eastern trumps on like the last or second to last trick when he only has it trumps? That's a quite common technique actually, but not seeing any potential for that here either. Well, we have to win the first diamond trick. And we also have to switch to Dwarf's head. I'm not really having a grasp on this, to be brutally honest. Yeah, and if he now plays 7, West surely plays the queen or something like that. And we turn the diamond and we're down. Yeah. I'm not feeling this hand in some way. At all. So I think what we did in our first try, which is what I would do pretty much automatically in normal gameplay, is play the king of trumps, and now we see the 4-0 distribution. We can't duck this trump trick either because East will return a diamond. And now we need to like how is this even possible? We can take a trump finesse and win at least one of our East honors, but not really sure if that accomplishes anything. Because we still have a diamond loser and we still have a trump loser. How do we get rid of either of those? We need some good fortune, I'm afraid. So like maybe West to be like 7-5 or something, so that East doesn't have a diamond to return. I just want to see how hearts actually split in this scenario. West has two, and he didn't have a trump, meaning West is 6-5 in the minors. We need to know which minor he has 6 and which he has 5. I think he has 6 diamonds, I'm not sure. At least we could now rough the final heart and shorten our own trumps by that manner. So is there any way that we can force East to play away from his trumps? So the scenario I do want to reach is like us just having 3 trumps left, each of us, because then we can exit a low trump to East, and East would then have to return trumps away from his jack. There are just multiple problems with this plan. The diamond loser being the biggest one. So how actually does West's hand split? Is it a 3-0 or is it a 4-2? No, what am I even saying? Is it a 6-5 or 5? Or does he have 6 diamonds or clubs? That was the question. I was already in a very different distribution. I'm sorry. So East still has a winning heart. Did we actually need to finesse in hearts? As dumb and ridiculous as that sounds. Can't be it, right? What was the last trick? Because he still has the jack, right? And that's rough. And then well, we can play 2 outs of clubs. East must always have 2 clubs. I'm not really sure that accomplishes anything really. I'm restarting because I didn't see any hope. Can we somehow squeeze East? Not really sure how and with what actually. But if we don't want trumps, West is just going to rough our first heart immediately like we saw. So no point in trying that. This I don't see. I don't feel anything. I don't see anything in this hand. I'm just very tempted to click on show me the solution, to be honest. Maybe in hearts? My only real chance is to set up like a 4 of heart in dummy to pitch our 2 of diamonds. But how? Like East has a short trump trick. Is it good to return a diamond immediately? Or to play 2 rounds of clubs and then return a diamond? But East could always give West a hard rough. And if we duck this first diamond trick, we just have to play trump for 0 losers. And not really seeing that with East having all 4. Unless East is like forced to play the queen or the jack himself. So if he would be like down to only 4 cards and East would be on lead, yes, then we could play spades for 0 losers because East has to lead. But we can't reach that stage. I mean, West is surely going to get a hard rough until then. Yeah, not really feeling absolutely anything on this hand. Let's show the solution and try to solve the next. I'm sorry. West diamond lead goes to the ace, of course. 5 diamonds and clubs. West is likely to be short in spades. A low spade. I did that. Yeah, if West follows with an order, yeah. And then we just finesse East, yeah. That was the thing I said at the very beginning, which I would do. But then West showed out. We must take 4 hard tricks, but how? So it is a double finesse in hearts, huh? Yeah, ridiculous double finesse, which also depends, by the way, on West having the 7 of hearts, which is usually a card that doesn't matter at all in bridge, but in this case, his doubleton being a 7 and not a 5-4 doubleton actually matters quite a lot, because we need to finesse twice using the 8 and 9 from Dorf's hand. I've honestly never seen a hand where a 7 compared to a 6 really mattered. Of course, it's not that difficult to construct one, but in real life bridge that doesn't happen usually. And now we can catch the 6 because the 6 is high. Oh, yeah, a bit ridiculous. I mean, I should have tried it at least, I guess, because there was nothing else to try. I- But yeah, no, I wouldn't play that way in the real hand, and I'm not really sure I take much away from this hand either, to be honest. Except perhaps never give up entirely. There's always like one scenario in which you can win. Okay, let's hope we have more luck with this. Six spades it is again. This time there's no bidding from the opponents. So we have looking from South's perspective, of course. We don't have a loser in any other suits other than trumps. But trumps could be pretty nasty. So immediately we see that the only danger really that we have is losing both the queen and jack of trumps. That's the one thing we need to avoid. I really want to shorten my trump hand somehow, so use those low trumps to rough something. Anything really. So if trumps split very unfavorably and one opponent gets in, gets gets in with the queen or the jack of trumps, that he perhaps is at that point forced to return a trump. Would be nice. Of course, which opponent that is, not really sure. So, if Trump split 5-0, I mean, there's not really much we can do. We don't have that many high cards in Trumps to begin with. We don't have the 8 either. So whoever has 5 Trumps would just cover the 9 or the 10 whenever we play it, and yeah, we can take that trick with the ace of king, but it doesn't really matter since his other trumps will get promoted. So that's not really something. I mean, if Trump split 3-2, there's not an issue at all, of course. Then we can just play the 8th king of trumps and lose one trump trick and we're done. That would be level 1, not level 5. So they probably split 4-1. I'm pretty certain they are going to split 4-1. Question, are the 4 with east or with west? Or do the robots decide on the fly who has the 4 trumps? Because they do that in Bridgemaster. Like, if you play the wrong strategy, they will let you lose in some fashion, even if that means like that a king, if you want to finesse, is sometimes with west and sometimes with east or something like that. Which of course can't happen both at the same time in real bridge. But Bridgemaster does that to teach you like a lesson that you shouldn't have finessed in the first place. Because there was a better strategy available. But I'm already talking too much and I still don't really have a clue who I should play for 4 spades. So I can't just play the ace and king. That's That doesn't do me any good. I could duck a trump trick immediately. But I want to force someone to play my trump into my trump holding, basically. And I mean, in slams, at least your choice is very restricted. You can't end play much because yeah, if you duck, if you ever duck a trick, end play is off the table because that would involve losing the lead a second time. If we lose the lead a second time, we are already down. I somehow really want to convert these low trumps and maybe just break my 12 tricks. Like, maybe I should look at this from another perspective. Not look at losers, but instead look at winners in this case. In Trump contracts, I normally look out for losers, but maybe looking out for winners is the right strategy after all. Because we could rough at least one heart, I want to say. We could also rough at least one diamond. We could play 3 rounds of clubs. So let's look at this from another perspective. We could play and win 3 rounds of clubs, 3 rounds of diamonds, roughing the last one, and 3 rounds of hearts, also roughing the last one. And we still have our ace and king left of trumps, so that would be 11 tricks already. We need 12. We could try to rough a 4th round of hearts or diamonds, but that of course won't work. One opponent would overruff at that point. I guess we need to hope that if anyone has 4 trumps, it's East. Simply so that, yeah, he really has no good reply if we play our 4th heart or 4th diamond. Maybe we could set up a trump finesse in some way. So I'm actually thinking about like we need to use every entry to north we can possibly have, I suppose. Well, we have enough entries. We have 2 club entries, a heart entry. We can't. Can we rough that many? Not really. I think that's fine. So I think we just avoid the block and diamonds by winning the first trick with the ace. And then just playing 2 rounds of trumps. Also, if we play the other suits, the danger of someone roughing is just too high. And I think East is going to turn up with 4 spades. No, it's West. But that's unfortunate because I don't think we can do anything against West showing up with 4 spades. I would be tempted to just let this one go, but West returns anything else, a diamond, a club, doesn't even matter. And West is behind our ace-10. That's the big problem. If it were East, we would still have a chance, but West... That's not going to fly, so... So play a low round of Trump first, maybe? I mean, it's possible. I was also thinking about that. I didn't want to do that because that would take away all my chances of end playing someone in Trump. Because in order to end play someone, they need to get the lead quite late in the game. And we can't afford to lose the lead anymore if we duck a trick. That's the other thing I think about, so let's try it. Playing low at this stage. We lose. A Trump is returned. And now... Okay, but now at least East is the one with the 4 Trumps. And one of them is the Queen. But the Jack is gone, so... This has some potential for a finesse, at least. We just need to cash the 4 and 5 of spades. Because they are sort of in the way now. Because we want to reach a position where North is on lead and we only have 2 cards remaining. 2 Trumps. The Ace and 10 remaining in South's hand and East having 2 Trumps. That's the situation we want to be in, then we can lead anything, doesn't matter, and we can finesse against East. Like a sort of a finesse without playing a Trump can materialize at the point at which somebody has nothing but Trumps remaining. So West led a diamond at the beginning. Should we start by looking how many diamonds West had, or should we try hearts? Or should we just cash the clubs? No, we don't. The clubs are useful as an entry to North. Let's try diamonds. Well, West's diamond lead was probably from length. Can't imagine anything else, so... I'm a bit scared of playing a diamond and East pitching a heart. And then ruffing our hearts later. So maybe I switch to hearts first. Maybe that's better. Just make sure that we get our ace king of hearts. And I think because West led diamonds at the beginning, that playing a heart is safer than playing a diamond now. East follows, okay. There's the question: should we play East for 3 clubs or 3 diamonds? We could cash winners in either miner. We have enough winners for days. That's not the problem. Uh, we just need to make sure that East doesn't pitch another suit. I want to switch to the ace of clubs now. And just maybe catch a second club so that East can't, if East had a doubleton, he can't get rid of it. Should we play another heart? There's always the danger of East pitching his last club. That's the problem. If East had 2 more diamonds, which would mean West started with only 3 diamonds, which is pretty unlikely given his diamond lead at the beginning. You don't usually lead from 3 low cards. On the other hand, perhaps West didn't have anything else. Should we really have taken account out of West's discards? Not really. But I think I can actually just catch the king of clubs first, right? That's not really hurting me. I mean, I can then just play the diamond winners. But I need to rough in South's hand. I need to convert this 5 of spades somehow. So if I play a diamond now, he pitches clubs, right? No. No, he doesn't. Okay. Phew. So we can make our 5 of spades with what's in the way. Now we switch back to North in clubs. And East roughs. Great. So clubs wasn't the right thing to play, and it seemed dangerous. So I think the strategy was largely correct. Means winning the ace and ducking a spade. But at this point we need to make a plan on how to convert our low trumps. So maybe immediately start with the diamonds. Because the hearts can serve as an entry later. And rough this, so we have converted one of our low trumps, which is good. Now we try the hearts. play, I guess, 3 rounds of hearts. Yeah, that's the right call, I guess. We can rough this one, but now is our 4 of hearts actually good? Don't think so. Well, it's the only chance, really, isn't it? So that's a singleton club. There's no second club, so we need to play diamond. We can pitch 1 club now. But the 4 of hearts isn't good, right? No. So should we have played 4 rounds of hearts? Was that even possible? Video. In this West's lead of diamonds at the beginning have anything to do with this? Questions over questions. So our problem was entries to north, so we should make this first trick in south's hand, that's correct. And this line of play was also correct. Pretty sure. But now perhaps we should have played on 4 rounds of hearts. And we can always enter with a diamond or a club. We didn't use the diamond entry last time, maybe that was a problem. So there's 1 heart outstanding. We can switch back in clubs, so East at least cannot ever discard his singleton, in case he doesn't have a heart. Yeah, this was right, and I don't know why. I don't know why this was better than the last try, but this works. Because now we can switch back in diamonds and just catch our diamonds. And yeah, if East roughs at some point, he doesn't make a trump trick anymore because we overruff and draw his last trump. And if East just doesn't rough, well, we throw away both of our clubs. And then in the second to last trick we play a club from dummy. And East is in a finesse position. But I don't know actually why this try was statistically any better than the last one. Yeah, we can overruff and have East's last trump. It worked, but I don't really know why this try worked and the last one didn't. Because on that last heart, East could have easily discarded a club. West follows low. As a safety play against which distribution? Exactly. Safety play against West. 4 trumps, yeah, okay. That makes some sense. Because we want East to have, if anyone has the 4 trumps, we want it to be East, because against East we can at least try to set up a finesse at the end. East returns a trump. there are many sequences. That's really. I mean, the idea was obvious, I think, but the exact way how to get there. Yeah, but why is this line of play better than the other? I'm not really sure at this point, and I mean also why did this official solution cross to dummy and diamond first instead of clubs? I also have no idea because clubs seems to be safer because in case East doesn't have hearts anymore, he could pitch his singleton club otherwise. And if we at least play clubs once, we take away that possibility as well from East. So not really sure about that either. There are a few things about it, and I'm not really sure at. But of course, I believe the Blitzmaster database. Alright, it's like 1:30 at night where I live, so I probably need to quit. Have a nice evening.